the NFL. The NFL's had a bunch of folks in New Orleans the last couple of weeks, and meeting with our folks, meeting with Jay Cicero and Great New Orleans Sports Foundation, as well as ASM and LSCD. So things can't be going better, to be honest with you. I keep on asking the league how we're doing, and we're further, I think, ahead in preparation for the Super Bowl we've ever have before. We feel that in New Orleans, and they feel that in New York. So we're feeling good.
Any requested revisions or anything like that? I know you guys felt like the facility obviously has been upgraded and all those things.
The NFL is very excited with the new facility, a new building. They're very excited with the renovations we've done. Very happy with the progress we've made, and so are our fans. I would tell you one thing, that we talk about is that we have a number of new events coming to the Super Bowl with the NFL that were different than the last time we hosted. And so I think, the focus is really on getting the community to come to the game or be involved in, if you're not involved in the game, be involved in the things that are ancillary to the game day experience. And there's a lot of focus on that, a lot of opportunities to participate if you're a New Orleanian or a Saints fan or in the region. And so I think that's going to be different, but I think that's going to be outstanding for our community.
How, tough is it to get into a permanent rotation every 4 or 5 years, 6 years?
Yeah, I don't, 4 or 5 years. I don't know if anybody's in a permanent rotation 4 or 5, even 6 years. It seems like that rotation, seems to be growing as new facilities come on board. But I'll say this, and consistently, time after time after time, you can continue to hear that New Orleans is at the top of the list of cities where people want to come. And sponsors want to come, the media want to come, obviously fans want to come. The New Orleans Saints continue to be one of the biggest draws for visiting fans. Other teams see that, so it's a great game for the city, great opportunity for the city. And look, hospitality is what we do, so we do it well, and I think we're going to continue to be in that rotation.
Now, football-wise, I know you don't do all the football stuff, but how do you see this franchise going this offseason with the additions made and those kinds of things?
Definitely heading in the right direction. Real excited with our coaching staff. Real excited, with the opportunities we have in draft. I mean, again, this is Mickey's, question more so than my question, but I know he's excited. I know, speaking to Dennis, he's really excited about the direction of the team and where we're headed, and we'll see where we go. But we're feeling confident.
As a front office and someone that's obviously involved in the finances, how much do you guys focus on like the salary cap and having a clean cap and not having to maybe restructure so many contracts?
Well, I mean, I think it's obviously that stuff's important, but the reality of it is, since I've been here, there's never been an opportunity that we haven't been able to take advantage of from a finance standpoint. So, there's ways to work around a cap or ways to manage the cap, and Mickey has always been able to do that along with Kai Harley, and they do an outstanding job. So, they're going to take advantage of every opportunity that's out there, take advantage of every opportunity for us to win and win the Super Bowl, and that's ultimately what we're trying to accomplish. That's what they're trying to accomplish, and so, yes, there's things and fans and media talk about cleanup and where you are over the cap, but again, we've luckily through Mr. Benson and certainly through Mrs. Benson, they and she has given us the resources to build a good team, and that's what we will continue to do, and do it within the parameters of the cap, and again, take advantage of every opportunity we can.
Everyone wants to win, and with with the playoffs not being 3, does she ever express frustration at all, or how is she kind of as an owner?
Well, I think sometimes we forget that this league, the leagues, but particularly this league, is really focused on parity, and it's very difficult to be in the Super Bowl every year. Now, we're seeing that with one team in our league, and we're seeing it with another team in our league over the last decade, but the reality of it is it's still difficult, and it's a building process, and again, I think we continue to focus on, how we can be successful and continue to do well, knowing that there might be hiccups along the way. But, I mean, again, I think it's important never to forget, though, that stability is important. I think having a long-term plan is important. I think we talked about having the opportunity to take advantages of various, various opportunities that present themselves. I mean, as long as we can be in that position, then I think we'll have success, and that's the way we've been over the last 15 or so years. More than that, gosh, it's almost 20 years. So anyway, we'll keep on building on that.
you guys are taking camp to California. Is there any consideration of maybe having some time away from here moving forward, like every year? Or is this just kind of like a one-time isolated?
No, this is. I mean, I've read about it, and it seems like why you're going to California, and I'm telling you. And I even spoke to some of our folks to make sure if you haven't seen it, look at the construction that's going on, and really from from a cafeteria standpoint, we don't have a cafeteria right now. We don't have cooking area right now. We're upgrading all of those things, upgrading our weightlifting facilities. We're uplifting, not up. We're making some improvements to some of our ingress and egress into the facility, and we can't get it all done by the start of training camp. And so I fully expect to be back in Metairie the following year when all the renovations are done to our practice facility.
How much of that stuff was planned, or the NFLPA survey got a lot of attention, the cafeteria.
Yeah.
How much of the players' feedback, or based on that, kind of went into any of the changes?
I say it's an abundance of respect, zero. I mean, we had, and that's not saying anything against their survey. We had it on the books for a while to improve the cafeteria, improve the cooking area. The building. I want to say, that cooking area in that cafeteria was, although we still think it's new for some of the folks that have been there. I mean, it's over 20 years old, and so it had to be changed. It had to be upgraded. We obviously, I know Mickey talks about this all the time, and we talk about it from an employee standpoint. Hey, we want to have the best facilities. I mean, we want to be able to recruit and attract players. In order to do that, you have to have good facilities. And we've made major renovations in the training area. We made major renovations in the locker room area. We made major renovations in the classroom area. The one area we really we upgraded the workout area. One area we really hadn't touched was the cafeteria, and so we're addressing that now.
Because New Orleans draws so many visiting fans who want to go to the city, when you have a game maybe it was overblown, but when you have a game like Detroit where it's mostly blue, is there anything that you guys can do from a business standpoint that, I don't want to say limit opposing fans, but does it cause you to relook at your strategies, or is there anything you guys can do realistically to, I don't know, have more Saints fans at games? Or?
Yeah, I would say respectfully.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were more blue than black and gold.
Sure.
But,
I'm not saying that.
But yeah, there's something that we could definitely do. We can win.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's what we need to do. That needs to be the focus. I know football operations feel the exact same way. Again, we do attract a lot of fans from outside the city and the state, but at the same time, we know one way to keep it full with black and gold fans is to win. And so that's what we endeavor to do. There are some small things that we do to make sure, obviously, day of game, we really are promoting local attendance and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I think we have to win.
Yeah.
So.
Just how do you guys feel about the Pelicans and kind of?
Very excited. I don't know, for some of the folks over here, maybe, what was it, John? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we were talking about how we were going to have to change everything up at the Pelicans. You guys were asking me questions. How we were in a GM search, or just starting a GM search back then, and we pledged back then that we would go through the process. We would continue to invest in the team, and we said it was going to take some time, and here we are. Team's performing very well. We still have a long ways to go. I don't want to suggest that we don't have still a long ways to go, but I think you're starting to see some of the the seeds are starting to bloom a little bit for what we planted 5 years ago, and that's the whole idea. It's talking about long-term view. I know we all want short-term changes immediately. I get that. I'm a fan too. I get frustrated. I'm at every game like you guys are and get frustrated when we don't win. But on the other hand, it takes some time. And so I think we're in a good position. But again, I think we have an outstanding GM. I think we have an outstanding coach. I think we have an outstanding foundation. I could tell you the locker room, the players, all outstanding. I can't say enough good things about the people in our locker room. We're excited. Team's winning, and hopefully we can continue that into the future.
That cycle, then, does that give you that cycle of seeing it turn around? Does that give you kind of calmness here, or patience here, for the Saints to see it kind of the confidence knowing that it will turn around again? Or
yeah, but you got to do things to make sure it turns around, right? You got to have you have to have the people, the personnel, and everything. And all the support around it to make sure you could do that. And yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited, like I said, to start with, very excited about the season and where we're going. And yes, certainly it can turn around. So.